Thanks, Coach. A bit of a sloppy track here at Soldier Field. Still getting some of the wraparound rain bands of a low-pressure system that's hovered over Chicago the last couple of days. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerged from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we as the Bears get set to match up with the Los Angeles Chargers. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Get 180! 180! They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing soft. Y'all playing.
On 1st and 10, Rivers. Man open left side, it's Williams. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the gun, it's Trubisky. That's complete right side to Gabriel. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
At the 36-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And this one's incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Trubisky. He's got his tight end, Burton. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Trubisky finding the former Eagle Burton for the Chicago first. First down, a run with Cohen. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Mike 58 right there. And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strip.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. Eluding the pressure, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Joey Bosa in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Rivers. On the crossing route, complete. It's Williams. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Big Eddie Goldman there on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Justin Jackson, second-year man out of Northwestern. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 27, Rivers over the middle, and it's incomplete.
We talk all the time about playmakers on offense, but let's face it, there are plenty of playmakers on defense, too. I think we just saw an example of one, didn't we? Not force that incompletion.
Yeah, he's a great corner. They got a couple of them on that side of the football. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And Gordon's going to be stopped short. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Now Matt Bryant on for the field goal. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. The kick by Bryant is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. They look to get something started. They need to. Down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Joey Bosa racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Man, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on.
Look at the big man rumble. He's at the 50. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A huge play there for Chicago. 53 yards. Here's Trubisky to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
Hey, team six.
Now Trubisky to throw on second. This will be caught just inside the 10. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. They'll run forward Tariq Cohen. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Tariq Cohen, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears draw a bit closer. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. A reminder, later tonight, Sunday Night Football will see a game in the NFL 100 series, a rematch of the very first AFL-NFL championship game. Looking for Benjamin, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Danny Trevathan, and he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Tariq Cohen with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Bears have taken the lead. No problem there on the extra point. And the lead is now 14-10. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30.
Here we go. First down and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
And that's called winning at the point of attack, isn't it? Right there at the line of scrimmage. I know he's a little bummed out now. He doesn't get credit for a tackle for a loss, but no game, these guys will take that.
And speaking of winning, to be as cheesy as we can, he was the winner of the NFC Defensive Player of the Week award from last week, so he's really stringing together some good football.
So not only did he get a gold star, he might have gotten a gold watch too, huh?
And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Bears take over. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their 38. They begin the drive on the ground with Cohen. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
We own them. We own them. Switch.
Here's Trubisky. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Trubisky to throw, escaping the pressure right. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Oh, Cohen lost the football and picked up by the Chargers. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Cut, 180. Check, 59. Watch the run. Check it. Protein spill.
Following the penalty, here's Gordon. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together. Underthrow. 154. Hey, Delta.
From just shy of midfield, Rivers to Gordon out left. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Rivers now to throw on first down. Sets up the screen to Gordon. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Boy, that is a 7-yard loss. 2nd down now. So back at the midfield stripe now. They'll come up 2nd and long.
Easy. Go.
Rivers now from the 50. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. First and goal, Melvin Gordon. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. And now time is called as we've got an injured Charger down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. They'll come out in the pistol. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Mike, 58, right there. Hey, we heavy on the edges. General West. Tighten up. He's crashing. He's checking credit.
On 2nd down, this is Jackson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Rivers. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And they will score a pick-6 for a Bears touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Throwing again on second down. Rivers is going to float this one deep right side. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And he'll actually lose about 7 yards on the return, but they have possession of the football on a turnover.
You see me out here? That's right. We're 180. That's 180. 59. Minus 59. Come to 1. Now
Gordon on first down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They run with Jackson out of the gun and able to work his way down to the 16. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9, and it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation...
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Bryant's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
And into the red zone now, and Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points, so you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes, make sure they put points on the board.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. The kick by Pinheiro is good. Well, I know we hold off on the halftime update after all. Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 24. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Out left side here to Bryant. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They go play action with Trubisky. Looking sideline, incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
The Bears on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now it's Trubisky. Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Trevor Williams with a pick. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Hey, Delta!
Following the interception here, Rivers. Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, let's see now, Charles. That's 7 turnovers between last week and this week. 3 here in this game, 4 in last week's game.
You know I do my research, right? And I go all the way back to the best coaches that have ever been in this game. And all of them started with ball security in some form or another.
Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Joey Bosa, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Throwing here, Trubisky. Going deep here for Bryant. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, they've done a good job on these receivers, pretty much held them in check. They're a little too close for comfort.
And you're always looking for a play to get you going, right? You're looking for someone to make one. And maybe this penalty, this pass interference call, that can help shake them loose.
They'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Double time. Hey, we got 4 down.
They'll try to counter here. Cohen. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuck that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
The former Giant, Prince Amukamara, on the stop.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They got to feel pretty good about that one.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Khalil Mack racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. So it's 3rd and long for the Chargers, and Rivers after the sack. From the gun, Rivers. He's going to walk one deep left side here. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Eddie Jackson picks it. Well, he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
Now Rivers going to give to Gordon on the draw. Gordon loses the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Joey Bosa in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long. Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. Dancing to his left. Now Trubisky lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
At their own 28-yard line.
180! Round 80! Hey, go Orange.
They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Rivers. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Brings up 2nd and 7. At the 48-yard line.
From just shy of midfield, Rivers looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Gordon. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the 1st. It goes as a gain of 8. It moves the chains. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch the screen.
Working out of the gun, Rivers. He completes it to Henry. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first. They run on first down with Jackson. And some room to maneuver. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action.
With the score, Bears 24, Chargers 13.
Phillip Rivers, no stranger to fourth-quarter comebacks. He's led the Chargers back to victory 26 times coming into this year. But work to do here if he wants to. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Trubisky gives to Cohen. And just not much to be had there. 1 yard out to the 10. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz is trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
They run. This is Cohen. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away.
The Chargers take over first and 10 at their own 41-yard line.
So Rivers will lead the Chargers out 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
180. Check. Fresno.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Check. Mike 5'9".
On 2nd down, Rivers again. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The 4th down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. Now it's Trubisky. Buying time to his left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Uchenna and Nwosu got the sack there. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And the pressure gets to him again. Joey Bosa in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Go 190, 180. Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
He'll start on the ground. This is Gordon on first down. They'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
At the 3-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10. Back near his goal line, Rivers. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however, and let's see what that's about.
Get the 390. Left 180. Watch the run. Watch the run. Wait, 85.
First down, Rivers. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Gordon loses the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Bears. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line. Following the fumble recovery, it's Trubisky. And that's caught for a Bear touchdown. It's the tight end, Trey Burton. Trey Burton, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bears use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point safely through, and the lead is up to 18 now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Chargers take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
So Rivers will lead the Chargers up first and 10 at their own 23. Another tote for Gordon. He's been busy this afternoon. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a second and 3.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
On second down, they'll run with Gordon. Clinton Dix, the former Packer, in on the tackle. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
On third down, this is Jackson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down.
Stop to run like that, I will guarantee that the head coach is saying to himself, maybe even over his headsets to the rest of the staff, where was that all game long? We needed that. That's the type of run we planned for going into the game. Didn't get much of that, but let's move it forward. Let's build on it, get ready for the next week, and let's go play.
And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. It's been a remarkable day at the office for him running the football. Those yards just continue to pile well past 100.
And how about more than double-digit carries in the second half alone? That's what you want as a runner, because you've got to prove to your offensive line that you're going to be as tough as they are. They don't rotate in and out on every play. Running backs often do, so those who can stay out there with their offensive linemen, those are the guys they really value.
And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
And this one is right through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now, you know what it...
Now a hit and a loose football. And they are going to set up shop.